The village of Umudara woke each morning to the sound of roosters and distant drums from the king's palace. Mud houses lined the dusty paths, and farmers prepared for the planting season. Among them lived Obinna and his wife, Ada, a humble couple known for their hard work and honesty. Though they owned little, their love and unity were admired by the villagers. They survived by doing small jobs, praying that one day fortune would smile upon them. One afternoon, the village king summoned Obinna to the palace courtyard. The king, seated on his carved throne, spoke with authority yet surprising kindness. "Obinna," he said, "your loyalty to this village has not gone unnoticed. I am granting you a portion of farmland near the eastern palm grove." Obinna bowed deeply, gratitude filling his eyes. When he returned home to tell Ada, she danced with joy, believing this was the beginning of a better life. The next morning, Obinna and Ada began clearing the farmland. The soil was fertile, shaded by tall palm trees swaying gently in the wind. As Ada pulled weeds near one of the older trees, her hoe struck something hard beneath the soil. She bent down, brushing away the dirt carefully, and gasped as she uncovered the top of a clay pot buried deep under the roots. Her heart raced as she called out, "Obinna, come quickly." Obinna hurried over, wiping sweat from his forehead. Together, they dug around the object and discovered not one, but 2 sealed clay pots hidden beneath the tree. The air around them felt strangely heavy, as if the land itself was watching. Ada's eyes sparkled with excitement, but Obinna's face grew tense with caution. They opened the first pot slowly, breaking the seal with trembling hands. Inside, they saw bright gold pieces shimmering under the sunlight. Ada covered her mouth in shock. "Obinna, we are rich," she whispered excitedly, her voice shaking with disbelief. The gold glowed as though it carried a life of its own. But Obinna stepped back, fear clouding his expression. "No," he said firmly. "This could be a trap. No treasure hides in the ground without a story behind it." Ada argued that this was their breakthrough, their reward for suffering. "Let us take it and leave this village before anyone knows," she insisted. But Obinna shook his head and said calmly, "If it is truly ours, it will come to us without stealing it." Reluctantly, Ada followed him home, though her mind remained on the buried pots. That evening, Ada's thoughts refused to rest. She replayed the sight of the gold over and over in her mind. Finally, unable to contain herself, she went to visit her close friend, Ngozi. Sitting inside Ngozi's hut, Ada whispered the entire story: the pots, the gold, Obinna's refusal. Ngozi's eyes widened greedily as she listened. Ngozi wasted no time telling her husband, Chike. "This is our opportunity," Chike declared. Under the cover of night, they hurried to the palm grove with sacks and lanterns. Their hearts pounded with excitement as they dug up the pots and carried them home, believing fortune had finally favored them. Inside their hut, Ngozi and Chike eagerly opened one of the pots, but instead of gold, a loud growl echoed from within. Suddenly, a large, mysterious bear spirit burst out violently, its form towering and terrifying. Before they could react, it began beating them mercilessly, knocking over stools and smashing clay plates. They screamed for help as the spirit punished them without mercy. "We were deceived," Ngozi cried. Bruised and terrified, they struggled to contain the second pot, convinced it held the same curse. Fear replaced greed in their hearts as they plotted their next move. Believing the second pot contained another violent spirit, Ngozi and Chike decided to use it against Obinna and Ada. "Let us take it back to the farmland," Chike suggested bitterly. "If it beats us, it will surely beat them too." They carried the pot at dawn, leaving it near where Obinna and Ada were walking. From a distance, they watched secretly, waiting for chaos to unfold. Ada noticed the pot immediately and looked confused. Obina examined it carefully, recognizing it as one of the buried pots they had left behind. A strange calm settled over him. With steady hands, Obina opened the pot. This time, no growl came. Instead, golden light reflected from inside as the pot revealed real gold pieces stacked richly within. Ada gasped again, but this time tears filled her eyes. "It has come back to us," she whispered softly. Obina smiled gently. "I told you," he said, "if it is ours, it will come to us." The gold shimmered peacefully in the sunlight, as though approving of their patience and honesty. From their hiding place, Ngozi and Chike stared in disbelief, realizing that greed had blinded them. News spread quickly throughout Umudara village. The king heard of the strange events and summoned Obina once more. After hearing the full story, the king nodded thoughtfully. "The land reveals the heart of those who touch it," he declared. He allowed Obina and Ada to keep the gold as a reward for their integrity. Ngozi and Chike were left to reflect on their actions, humbled and ashamed. Obina and Ada used their wealth wisely, helping the village and improving their farm. And from that day forward, the people of Umudara remembered one powerful truth: what is meant for you will never pass you by.